How's it going, everybody? If you are a resident here in Michigan with home and auto insurance policies, then this video is for you. Today, I wanted to discuss some of the basics around auto insurance here in Michigan, go over what exactly it covers, how it works, and why it's so important to make sure that you have the right coverages in place and the right coverage amounts in place on your policy. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Brian. I'm an independent insurance agent based here in the state of Michigan, Metro Detroit specifically, and I work with businesses on their commercial insurance programs, as well as helping families and individuals with their personal insurance, their home, their auto insurance as well. My goal with this channel is to pass on a little bit of educational information to you so that you can make more informed decisions around your insurance, and then overall help answer any questions that you might have. So let's get into it. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. And if you find this video helpful, useful, anything like that, please feel free to like, share, pass it along with anyone else as well. So first, here in Michigan, you are required by law to carry auto insurance if you do own a vehicle. Driving without insurance can result in fines, getting your license suspended, and then also being personally responsible for any damages related to an auto accident. At its core, auto insurance is there to protect you financially if you are ever involved in an auto accident, whether that is from the liability side of things, if you get sued, or if you, any resident, relative, family members get injured in an auto accident and have medical expenses. And these are covered in certain areas of the policy. So I want to go over a few coverage areas that you should definitely know about. First is going to be your liability coverage, and this would be in the form of bodily injury and property damage. This protects you if you injure a third party in an accident or damage their property. Now, for this coverage, the state minimum requirement is only going to be $50,000 per person and $100,000 per accident. But in today's world, that is not nearly enough coverage. Medical bills, lawsuits, and legal fees can add up very fast. And this is why we always recommend starting with at least $250,000 per person and $500,000 per accident. And depending on your situation, you might even need to look at higher limits or potentially an umbrella policy. This is really the coverage area on the policy that protects you and your personal assets if you do ever get into an accident and are sued. The next coverage I want to talk about is personal injury protection coverage, also commonly referred to as PIP coverage. And this is a little bit unique here in Michigan because here, your PIP coverage on your auto insurance is what pays for any medical expenses for yourself, any of your resident, relative, family members after injuries from an auto accident, not your health insurance. And this would also include things like long-term care expenses, rehab services, things like that that might need to be taken care of in case you are ever injured in an auto accident. And now, before the auto insurance reform laws in 2020 went through, every auto policy automatically had what is called unlimited coverage. But since the auto reform, now you do have different coverage options to choose from. You can choose for this coverage to be capped at $250,000 or $500,000, and then there are also options if you have Medicare, Medicaid, or maybe a qualified health plan through your employer. But given how expensive medical care can be after an accident, we always recommend keeping unlimited. The cost difference to have unlimited is usually minimal, and it really does help make sure that you are taken care of forever if somebody ever is badly injured. Then you'll also see a coverage on the policy called property protection insurance, sometimes referred to as PPI. And this is a standard coverage that nearly every policy will have here in Michigan. And the coverage limit is almost always set to $1 million, which means if your car does damage somebody else's property, things like a building, a fence, a parked car, your auto policy would provide up to $1 million in coverage for those circumstances. And now, those coverages that I just went through, those are going to be required to make a selection for or just required to have on every auto policy here. But beyond those coverages, there are a few optional coverages that are always worth considering. A big one is going to be uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. About 25% of drivers here in Michigan, so 1 in 4 drivers, do not carry auto insurance. And if somebody without insurance hits you, this is the part of the policy that would step in to provide coverage. And we always recommend matching these coverage limits to whatever you have for your bodily injury liability coverage. So in most cases, that's going to be at least $250,000, $500,000. And then there are coverages that people typically refer to when they say they have quote unquote full coverage. And these would be the physical damage coverages for your own vehicle. So comprehensive and collision. Collision covers your vehicle if you're involved in an accident with another vehicle, while comprehensive covers things like fire, theft, vandalism, weather damage. And these both help with the repairs and replacement costs for your vehicle for these situations. And these coverages both will also have a deductible associated with them. And if you loan or lease a car, oftentimes the financial institution that you're working with will almost always require that you do have both comprehensive and collision on your policy. So at the end of the day, with all of this, the reason that auto insurance really is so important is because driving a car is one of the most dangerous activities that you can do every day. And if you are ever involved in an accident and somebody's seriously injured, whether that's a third party, yourself, or a family member, you really need to make sure that you have enough coverage in place to protect yourself financially. So thank you for watching. And if you are looking for help with your auto insurance here in Michigan or other insurance in general, I would love the opportunity to work with you and see if our team can help. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and they should all be in the description below. Please feel free to text, call, email, fill out a contact form, whatever's easiest. And if you have any other questions about insurance, please feel free to reach out directly or leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer those as well. So thank you again.